This program was commissioned by Built Green Washington to introduce green building and Built Green programs to the public and to professionals as well. I'm your host, Selena Shear, and I take you around the state, and I met many people involved in different aspects of green building. I'm going to show you some examples and hopefully educate you on the process. But to really help educate you is Alastair Jackson, who's joining me at this beautiful house on Whidbey Island that's just a recently finished Built Green project. Now, Alastair, will you kind of explain some of your involvement in green building?
Certainly. Hi, Selena.
Hello.
Great to be here. So I'm a principal with a green building consulting firm named O'Brien & Company. We've been involved in green building for more than 16 years.
So way before it was cool.
Way before it was cool. And been involved with the Built Green programs since the very beginning, really, helping to develop those programs, educate people about how to implement them, and then providing verification and support services for projects who are pursuing certification.
So we'll talk about the Built Green programs later in the show, but what is green building?
Right. So the green in green building really refers to the fact that by choosing different design techniques, construction techniques, we're able to reduce the impact of our buildings on the environment. The great news is that it doesn't just help the environment, that in actual fact these same techniques can add value, deliver benefits to the homeowner as well.
And speaking of those homeowners and builders and everyone that I met, they all have a different reason to build green. What are some good examples of that?
Yeah, well, it varies a lot. You know, for some people it's about energy efficiency. So the great thing about reducing energy consumption is that very often that means you have a home that's more comfortable as well, and it's going to be less costly to operate.
Less to operate, yeah.
Resource efficiency. Some people are concerned about how much material goes into homes. So choosing more durable materials, being more efficient with how we use materials, is also going to make a house more cost effective to build and own, make it more durable. So I understand that you've been talking to some people down in the South Sound. It would be great to hear what you heard about their perspectives.
I'm here with Scott Bergford of Scott Homes, who is very active in green building and actually one of the founding members of Built Green here in Olympia, as well as one of his clients, Liv Monroe, who is a member of the Woodard Lane Co-Housing Project, where we are right here, and you'll actually be living here pretty soon. And I wanted to start it off with Scott here. Why have you been so involved over the years with green building?
Well, I really like the idea of the energy efficiency. My clients save substantial amount of money in their utility bills because of the systems we use to build these houses. They call it green these days. We've been doing this for a long time, and it just made sense.
Now, Liv, you actually have to live here. Now, what does green building mean to you?
Well, part of what it means is comfort. And a part of what it means is being able to share this wonderful outdoors with the trees with generations after mine and my children.
The cornerstone to our building systems and making our homes really green is make it airtight. If we can make a building airtight, we can make it really energy efficient.
What's been great about working with Scott is that he knows about green building. So we come in with these ideas that we hear about on the news or somewhere that sound really exciting. And some of them could be very exciting if we lived in Vermont, but they don't work in Washington. And he knows that. So he can guide us into the things that are most beneficial for us and that will help us. And still trying to save money. We're not doing everything as green as we had hoped to because of the cost. So there's had to be a balance, but we certainly are doing as much as possible, like solar heating for our water. That's one of the things. And one of the things that we're doing green is we're living in small homes. I feel that that's really important, and then sharing one large space between 19 families.
I'm here on beautiful Fox Island, which is right across the water from Tacoma, and I'm joined by Aaron Gould, who is the builder and designer of this home that you see behind me. And now, Aaron, I'm sure that there is a long list of green elements in this home, but can you give me kind of the highlights?
Some of the highlights of this project are the reclaimed materials. For example, the siding and the beams that you see coming out underneath the bump out there are reclaimed materials from a couple of different sources. The beams are from actually Salishan in Tacoma, the housing project that was torn down, and so we got some of the beams for that. The siding comes from truck cab cutoffs from a place in Ballard, and we were able to get those and use those for the siding. And the lower level siding and structure and wall system is what's called Fastwall or Durasol. Those are the two products. Fastwall is out of Oregon, and they're a great product, and it's made out of 85% recycled wood chips. The most important element that I would say would be the careful and integrated design approach that we take to each of our projects. And this is a good example of that because it shows how you can do green building affordably just by carefully planning and taking into account from the get-go what you want to include in the project, and really having the systems of the house work together. I designed my house green and built it that way chiefly because of my family. I have a few kids now, and actually that's how I started doing green building, was because of my children and my family, and I wanted to have something that was healthy for them, safe, and also educational, and that would show them how to be responsible with and good stewards of the environment, their own health, other people's health, and also thinking for the long term.
So Alistair, it seemed like there are some really common themes, especially with Liv and with Aaron. They're building for comfort, they're building for efficiency, and they're building to be good stewards of our land and of our resources.
Yeah, that's right, Selena. Those are really some of the core objectives of the whole green building industry as a whole.